Welcome back to the studio. This piece was created over the break. You may have seen a post in the community tab in September, and it took a few twists and turns before getting to its final destination, but here we are. Let's start with the reference, which was taken at the Milwaukee Zoo in 2008. It's a great pose, but the glare makes it hard to use. I originally wanted to do a collage piece of tigers as they're very popular and are easy on the eyes. This t-shirt from Mountain gives you the initial idea of what I thought would be popular, but rather than picking through all the best and most regal pictures, I thought I would just do a collage that was more representative of some amusing moments and a less conservative approach. After the initial headshot, I decided on this one, which made me think of when you're hanging out with your friends and you're just being silly and not trying to be dignified. The second one was also at the Milwaukee Zoo, and this tiger made me laugh a lot and think of all those times where I've been at work or forced to be at family functions and been forced to put on a smile and pretend I was having fun. The last one is tiger laying on its back. Now, I do have quite a few of these references in my collection. However, including it in this design gives the construction a solid structure and bottom. And yet another moment where it feels like I've just been woken up and I'm looking at the person or the reason that I have to wake up from a sound sleep and would really like whatever it is to just reconsider their position on rousing me. So initially I started working on the whole design, but because each tiger was on a separate layer, it was easy to pick up just one layer and start a whole new piece without needing to completely start over. This is one of those nice benefits of working digitally. By the way, if you like the look of this finished piece and would like to purchase a print or some merchandise from this artwork, feel free to go over to my Fine Art America page after the video and check out what I have available. Links are in the description below. After a few days of thinking about what makes this collage of tigers unique, I decided I was doing it for the wrong reasons and scrapped it. I still wanted to do a tiger piece because I really do enjoy painting big cats. After a few days of pondering, had me looking through some footage from over the summer and reminded me of something that I had seen at the Midsummer Festival of the Arts. It was a papier-mâché artist named Mary L. Hager who did various birds, fish, octopuses, and her beetles that were the thing that really jumped out at me, but it was her use of color that grabbed my attention. And taking inspiration from her use of color, I chose this phthalo green background to see if I liked how it made the tiger pop. No big surprise, I did. At the same time, I was researching alcohol inks, and I really liked the idea of not needing to have so much tight control over pieces, that I could just play with animals who are endangered or extinct, just fading into these abstract pools and motions of color, just silently representing the habitats of various tiger species, like the Caspian tiger, that are now extinct. But the more I played with it, the more I realized the pose wasn't working for what I wanted to do, and went back to the first object with the green background, but I might come back to this another time with another creature. but I still couldn't shake the thought that behind when a species goes from being endangered to extinct, how many little steps there must be. Like with the Caspian tiger, it isn't just easy to say deforestation, although that is one of the issues. Not only was their habitat destroyed on a large scale to support mining and energy development, but the Soviet Union converted the Caspian tiger's habitat largely into agricultural developments. Now, this brought in people and the tigers into close proximity. So people started to hunt and drive away their prey, which was large boar, and of course now you have this other conflict of people. So the Soviet Union says nope and imposes military hunting as well as paying bounties for private hunters to capture and kill the Caspian tigers. Now while sport hunting is also listed as the reason for their extinction, I know and respect too many hunters to think that sport hunting and that is an aspect are nearly as impactful as the systematic execution of the species in order to support the economy of the Soviet Union. Sorry, I was on a tangent. So I didn't want the fade line on this tiger to be so clean. I wanted it to be messy, tangled, angry. Tigers didn't leave quietly. This symbol to the world of strength and courage didn't run cowering into the night. This embodiment of commanding respect, which is so often admired for its innate savage beauty, is still around. Sadly, there are almost 3 times the number of tigers in captivity as there are in the wild. Hell, there are as many captive tigers in the US as there are estimated to be in the wild worldwide. And that made me think of the roadside zoos in the state where I live, and the conditions that those animals endure. How they are bred for tourist entertainment. I mean, have you heard about this Buddhist temple years ago that was charging people to come and get pictures taken with their full-grown tigers? I mean, they've since been shut down for animal cruelty. But between beating the tigers into submission and drugging the cats to keep the tourists safe, it's amazing that any of them survived. There was so much that people just don't want to see, and it really kind of makes me sad. As I walked away from this piece for the night and took the puppy for a walk, I stopped to look at the stars. Something I often do when I just kind of need perspective. And while I can see the stars from my home, I could not see the stars from the road where I walked the dog. The street lights had obstructed my view. And there I had it. Stars. To represent all the things we know and all the things we don't. For all those lives so carelessly lost or taken. For whole species just violently ripped from the world. For all those trying to help. For all those efforts that were not yet able to be taken. Yeah, we're all just kind of made up of stardust. Like the intricate lines of the spiderweb, everything you do affects everything else, no matter how small. Now, the same could be applied to success and failure. I've really decided in my old age to become intolerant of people who have a one-and-done way of succeeding and failing at what they do. It's their way or the highway. Guess what? Life is just not that simple. There are so many little things that help someone succeed or fail that sometimes you don't even notice it. It could be in the attitude toward your day when you get out of bed, how you face your challenges throughout your day. And at what point do you decide a project's just not worth completing or that your effort's being wasted? Chances are that each project or task has different points where you might just have thrown in the towel. Even though successful projects had very similar points, but perhaps sometime you had someone in the background rooting for you to succeed or circumstances that were more supportive and less detracting. The key is being able to navigate that star field, all those moments that become key players on your road. Now, whether you look at this piece as a tiger appearing or disappearing is up to you. The soft, warm textures of the fur and those bold stripes and the tiger's dignified look stands in stark contrast to the rest of the background, whose gradient is smooth and quite indifferent. But what do you think about this piece? Should I try it again with another creature? Should I experiment in alcohol inks? Or should I try this in an actual physical media? Leave your thoughts in the comment below.